Hi guys, PJ here, taking a look at a fairly new release. This is Frostpunk. This is a PC release. It is due to come to the consoles as well. I'm not actually sure on the date of that, but it is on its way apparently. Frostpunk is a survival game, been out for a couple of weeks now. Bit of a difference with this survival game though, you're combating the ice, the cold, the intense cold, very tense sort of game. In this game you travel, I believe it's north, to where some unused technology, steam sort of generators exist, and basically you've got to get them up and running to combat the cold, to save everybody. You are the leader of your little civilization, and you've got to try and keep everybody alive. So this is sort of like the last city on Earth type scenario. This is an end of days type kit. Now the game is ultra-wide, as you can see. It will support your ultra-wide monitors, so no problem there. Mine booted straight into it. I've not had to fiddle with anything. Your intro screen starts at the normal size, but it does pan out, as you can see, as soon as you get to the menu. Game is available on GOG and also obviously Steam. $24.99 on both at the moment. Has got Steam trading cards, has got Steam achievements. I would imagine obviously it'll have the achievements and trophies when it comes to console. And has had really good reviews. I was actually meaning to do a little video on this quite a while ago, but I've had a few PC teething problems. I'm sure you know what it's like if you game on PC. Seem to have got through all those now. Touch wood, looking for wood desperately. No, just plastic and stuff. Oh well, never mind, touch coarser plastic, that'll do. Right, hopefully no more teething problems, so we can carry on now working through the bit of a backlog we've got of all the PC games that have released. So what we're going to do, I'm going to dive straight into the settings and show you what's available in the game if you are a PC user. I'll also play a bit of the game and give you my thoughts and feelings on it, of you know, how good exactly it is, and you know, is it worth $24.99, the purchase price? Looking at what everybody else has said, it's looking good, but I'll play it for myself and we'll see. So getting right into the settings, like I said, I'll quickly go through these so we don't languish on it too long. It's just so we can get a feel for how well, you know, this game will play on maybe your computer. You know, it does vary. Now language, we've got default here, which is obviously the English language. We've got a few options, so I'll flick through them for you. Oh, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like 6 or 7 languages there, so not a bad little selection. We've got temperature scale, obviously Celsius, Fahrenheit there, and tutorials on and off. Well, I'll disable tutorials, I'll go into this blind. I had a quick play around with it when it first came out, but like I say, straight after I'd installed it I got computer issues, and I've had to sort all that out so before I could come back to it. So I know the very basics of it. He says that is going to look completely useless in the game. Hey, nothing new. Okay, so audio. I'll come to graphics last because it's normally the longest one. Master volume, of course, there. Music, you can disable music, sound effects, UI sounds, ambient sounds. Only stereo. I have tested this. It's not surround sound or anything. It's stereo, but it does the job. You know, the sound is up to the task. The in-game sounds are very adequate, so no complaints there. Controls, pretty obvious really, isn't it? It's WSAD as usual, and then a couple of the others, the normal ones. You can reconfigure them all, so not a problem. Just scroll through them there. Obviously pause the video if you want to have a closer look. It's the same developers as this War of Mine, remember that game? And they're pretty skilled, I must admit. This game is very slick. It runs very well. Graphics. It will, what appears to auto-detect as soon as you load the game, so there's no auto-detect button, it just seems to go, yeah, this is your system, and boom, click straight onto it. This is the settings I've got as soon as I've booted in. I'm running Windows 10 Pro, Home Edition. The CPU is still, and yes I must upgrade this, FX 8350 at 4.2, 8-core CPU. I've got 16 gigabytes of RAM. And it's running on a Asus ROG GTX 1060 6GB with the factory overclock running on it. With that setup, these are the settings that it's put for me. Windows is installed on an Intel SSD and the game is installed on a normal hard drive. I don't feel there's the need to put this on an SSD. And besides, I'm actually recording to an SSD to minimise any delays or anything like that. Okay, so we're using the NVIDIA, by the way, to record, so normal NVIDIA software, nothing special. Okay, so we've got VSync on, full screen exclusive there is your top option, windowed, borderless, exclusive. VSync, we've just got yes and no, there's no adaptive or anything. Resolution obviously depends on what your monitor supports, guys, but all the common ones are there, 1080p, 720p, 900p. Goes all the way down, 640 by 480 is what it goes down to. So I go through them all. Like I say, you can slow the video down not too quickly. All your options, there's quite a lot, pretty good. You can see in the 75Hz refresh there because I've got my monitor overclocked 275. Okay, keep going all the way back up. Okay, so graphics quality overall we've got low, medium, high, very high. That's it. Okay, no ultra. Shadow quality, I will just quickly show you low, medium, high, very high. Same with these, no difference at all. Particle quality, we've got quarter, half and full. Full screen AA on and off, and exclusion on and off. Global illumination on and off, depth of field on and off. So pretty straightforward graphics options there. Just click apply, I'm sure I changed some of the graphics options you've got to reload the game. I think it was some of the texture ones I messed with, and you have to reload the game for them to kick in, but it is really quick at loading. Even on a normal hard drive, this thing had loaded in under 10 seconds, so like I say, no need for an SSD really on this. Right, let's get into game. I'm going to do a few hours of gameplay, maybe 4 or 5 hours, and then I'm going to sort of crush it down, so the rest of the footage you'll watch is sort of spread over the course of the game, and we'll see how we go, see how we get on with that. So I know you start with a bunch of survivors. Let's click a new home and see what happens. Okay, so let's see how long it takes to actually load into game. I wouldn't have thought it would be very long. Install size is very good, it's very small. I think I clocked it at something like 5 gig, just under 5 gigabytes, so it's not a lot. It does decompress, but like I say, it was pretty quick. You'll notice as we're loading as well, it's cut in on the ultra wide, but like I say, rest assured the game is full screen. Keyboard mouse game really, can play it with controller. Sort of sucked if I'm honest. I don't know how they're going to get on with the console version of this. It's probably going to be a bit of a compromise. All games like this, let's face it, they're superior keyboard mouse. But maybe so, maybe they'll make a go of it. So here we go, here's your survivors trekking across the ice, as it were.
It feels as yesterday we were turning the wheels of progress.
Just a little story telling you about
until the frost stopped it all.
Yep, mouse button click and it skipped. We have to survive. It says here, we fled from London and crossed the sea to reach the frozen north. On the way our convoy was hit by a blizzard and scattered. A handful of us managed to reach the site of this generator, only to find it frozen solid and abandoned. Why is no one here? Did any of our people survive the blizzard? Are there any others out there? Whatever we do, we should expect the worst now that the world, we know it, has crumbled. There we go, setting the stage. Here we are in a giant crater. There's your steam generator in the middle, and liberally scattered around the edge there are resources. Yes, we had to fight the cold, we know. So here's your resources around the edge, different ones, and certain people, like with a lot of survival games, have certain skills. So you have to use really the correct person for the correct thing, and yes, of course, you can improve their skill set. Some of the decisions later on, because I say I have played this when it first came out, some of the decisions you have to make as like the boss of the city, they're a bit cruel. You know, it could come across as a bit harsh, but you got to think of the greater good for everybody. So, oh yeah, night time. We're at -20 at the minute. Night time. Yeah, it gets a lot colder. I mean, this has got a proper day-night cycle. and the graphics are really nice. It's a good looking game. There we go, look, we can move around as we wish. Basically hold the mouse button and just pan in and out, and mouse wheel of course to zoom. There is instructions on your controls, so take a look at this. So here's all your survivors. You can individually pick them, as you can see. I'm highlighting them there with the mouse, and click on this chap. And not at risk of getting ill currently. Lack of shelter is his biggest concern. So if we click here, this is steel wreckage. Okay, now we can't burn steel. Bearing in mind that this is a steam generator, so we need to start it, you know, getting fire. What we got here? Wooden crates. Now we can burn wooden crates. So let's get into this. Get a few people set off, and I'll jump forward and show you a bit more. So I've set our workers off now, guys. As you can see, we've got it on super fast time. Let's just slow it back down. You can see they make some nice little tracks in the snow here as they cut through. I mean, this particular one here, we've got wooden crates. We set 5 workers to go and get the wooden crates, and a couple of engineers as well. This one is iron and more wooden crates, etc. So again, we set some workers. You've got maximum available to do that. But as you can see, people die. Yeah, so we've got 56 homeless people, 4 very sick, and we've had a few people die overnight. Okay, I left the game on while I was faffing with something else, just letting time tick by. That was a bad idea, because people died, and then your hope goes lower and lower and lower. There we go, look. We got 6 child died, 18 adults, and 1 unpopular decision made already. Literally 30 minutes into the game. So, yeah. Did I mention I'm not too good at these city building games? Yeah, that's why. Well, anyway, over here we have coal deposits. Okay, so one of the things on the left here, as you'll see, is stockpile some coal. Yeah, we're on like 134 out of 200 needed. Once we got 200, we can activate the generator, sort of warm the area up. There's quite a lot of coal around me. There's some here. Look, for example, build a mine here to start the extraction. This stuff's all surface coal, so we can just collect that nice and easily. We'll send some more people for that, because we do need coal. And we've got more wood here, we've got trees and stuff. But I get the feeling we're going to have to send people further out, because this stuff's going to run out pretty quickly. We're going to have to go further and further out to get our resources, which obviously endangers people even more, let's face it. You can see some of the stuff here around the edge. I don't know if we can... yeah, we've got bits and bobs up. So we got 200 yet? No, we're on 144. We desperately need more coal. Shall we speed it up? Get to 200? Yeah. Probably kill some more people speeding it up, that's the only problem. Come on, you're meant to be running. Why aren't you running? Oh, they're going to sleep because I've sped it up. Great, super. What about you guys? Are there any more coal deposits anyway? There's some coal. Let's go over here, get this coal. How many we got? We'll put 5. We've got 4 spare people. I'll have some to die. We'll have an engineer. We're on max speed. No, we're not. Now we are. There we go. Night time. Staying at -20. That's good. We got health problems. 10 sick. Oh dear. Not good. What we got here? 40 homeless. Discontent. Corpse disposal. Bad health care. Yeah, I'm not too crash hot at this. Like I say, there's some corpses on the floor. People have died and we've just sort of left them lying there. This is going to take some practice. It's not a 2-minute game that you can just click on and you know, play. You gotta get used to it. So resources, yeah, not good. Food and rations could be fairly critical at this point. Steam cores. Okay, let's skip forward and I'll update you in an hour if there's anybody still alive in an hour. Well, quick update. Not quite an hour. It's been about 30 minutes. I got banished. I'm no longer ruling the city. Built a couple of tent homes and a hunter hut to go and get food. Wasn't good enough. People were a bit sick of me. So failure. Definitely failure. I mean, you got to notice at the bottom there's the hammer icon, and obviously you can build all your different huts and stuff from that, and as you progress, other ones unlock. So the game is clearly going to take some time to get into, and obviously you've got to be good at this type of game. I mean, I suck at like SimCity and stuff like that, so I'm not sure I'm going to be any good at this game. I'll give it another shot. I'll try and build a whole city up, and we'll see what it looks like if I manage it. Let's see. Well, we're doing a little bit better. I've tried to put everybody in tents so they're all out of the way of the cold. We have a hunter place and also somewhere that processes food there. We've got a cookhouse, look. We've assigned workers. You have to make the decision as to whether your children are going to work or not. Now, I decided to put them to work, and a few people objected and didn't look very happy at that, but you really do need the resource, the labours. And apparently the kids only get safe jobs, so fetching a bit of wood, that sort of thing, you know, can help. Now the next building it tells you to build is this. Okay, this is a workshop. It's closed at the moment because it's night time. You can add new research to it. Okay, like so. You got a research tree there, and I've actually turned the difficulty down. When you start the game, it's on medium. I'll be honest with you, I've turned it down to easy just so I could like get to grips with the game and figure it all out. It might make a big difference for people like me that aren't very good at this type of game, especially until you get used to it. So my next thing is to build a beacon, and the thing what you're meant to do is rescue the rest of your gang, you know, your followers that got lost en route to this location. So they're out there in the wilderness, so you're going to build a beacon to try and get them all here. And obviously the more workers you get, a little bit like Fallout Shelter in a way, get more and more people come that can do more and more things. You know, rescue survivors of the Lost Expedition. So there's 20 of them out there currently, and we need to try and get them in. Now when we click on build, we've got tents like I say, we've got health, there we go, medical post, and it uses 25 wood to make it. There's your food buildings and your resources, gathering posts, etc. Tech. So if we wanted tents, you can start building outlook. Yeah, you're going outer ring. Now I've sort of got the feeling the further away from the generator you are, I would imagine your heat levels are going to be a problem. Not tried that, some sort of guessing, but I would imagine the further out you are, the more problems you're going to have. You've also got to build a mine to get some of these coal deposits that are out here. So expansion is the name of the game, guys. We'll keep beavering away at it for a bit. We have some progress. Everybody hasn't died yet, so as a bonus. Basically we've sent up a beacon, which is like a hot air balloon, and it sort of highlights what is around you. So our base is here in the middle. As you can see, this is the map area. Now here we have Lost Expedition survivors. Now there's a lady requested we go and find her family members. She's sure they're alive, and she wants to join the first expedition team to go and get them. However, over here is a gloomy cave. Now I'm actually more interested in going and seeing the gloomy cave, but something tells me we better do the Lost Expedition first. So it says here, send scouts here to learn more about this place. Numerous tents. We can see people moving about. They must be lost members of our expedition. Okay, fair enough. So how do we do that? Rescue the survivors from our Lost Expedition. Is there a way of... Nope. Let's go back. Oh, I see. Yeah, we can zoom all the way out now, guys, so we can literally go back in. Resources okay, a bit low here. That's how many people are on them. Yeah, we've built a bit more, so we've now got everybody under cover. No one sleeping rough in the snow and dying. Well, not that many people. 5 sick. It's not bad. 10 homeless. Okay, not quite everyone. But this is your beacon that I was on about that we built. Oh dear, which is just broken in front of me there. What's this? People from our convoy ready to search. We need a win. Okay. We built some roads. These are actually classed as roads, so I was thinking of expanding a bit further. And the crucial thing, these steam generators, yeah, which are the sort of heart to the city, we've researched them, Steam Hub, and we can now build them. So I can click on that and sort of expand your heat zone so that everybody stays warm So like I say, the further out you go, the further, you know, the cold reaches, as it were. So on our tech tree here, we've researched beacon, which we've made. On heating, we've researched steam hub. The next thing is heaters look, as you can see, and it goes on from there. Quite a lot to it there. We've got resources to go, food and health to go. Massive, massive, massive game. But I will play another hour or so and give you a final sort of update as to what I think. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm sinking time into this and the time's flying by. It's one of them games that sort of just pulls you in once you start figuring out more and more of the economy and the way the game works. I'm starting to think this is a really, really good game. It's not normally my scene, but it's pulling me in. I keep wanting to check out different things and do different things, and I think putting it on easy mode has probably helped me, because if I'd have kept it on medium or hard and kept dying all the time, I probably would have shoved the game to one side and not even bothered with it. But this way, learning everything is probably the best way for somebody like me, who, like I say, is not too crash hot at this type of game, to sort of learn the game and spend some time with the game. So let's do a bit more, expand a bit more, and do some searching for some survivors, and I'll put a little bit more footage up before we sort of call it a day on this video, yeah? Well guys, quick and final updates, because I'm sure you're getting the grip of what this game's all about, what it does and how you play it to a degree. As you can see, things have expanded. We've used these extra what are called steam hubs here to heat the ground, which nicely melts the snow away. As I quickly found out, if you plonk tents down or, you know, accommodation down without a steam hub near it, the occupants aren't happy, because obviously it's like minus 30 degrees or whatever. So putting these down heats an area, keeps everybody happy. We've also built various things such as a cemetery. Now you've got decisions to make here. You can even just bury the dead bodies in the snow in like a shallow grave, but obviously that sort of puts a bit of a downer on everybody. So I decided the cemetery was a better option. The downside of that is some of your employees, well, they're all employees, aren't they? They're all trying to keep alive. They basically take time off work, so they're not gathering resources and stuff while they're mourning their loved ones that have gone. So it's sort of catch-22. A lot of decisions do fall in that sort of criteria. We've had to make more medical posts as well, because we weren't coping with it. We've had to make even more food places, because basically you've got like cook houses, but to get the cook houses operational, you've got hunters places. We need to man that one up there. As many as we've got, 7 people, hunters, and we've just researched in the research tree here. We're on health and food, hunters gear. Now that basically gives them camo and stuff, so they can go and get better resources. There you go, as you can see. And we did coal thumper, faster gathering, sawmill, etc. And then you can level up and go through your tech tree on each one of these. So we did put some coal thumpers out. Just spin my map around here. This is a coal thumper, there we go, functioning at night time, obviously non-functional. It's best to have an engineer with them, because otherwise the workers are a bit clueless and they end up wandering off and freezing to death from what I can see. Don't know why they do that, but an engineer seems to be like a boss to look after everything. We've got a sawmill here, so we can now pick up all these dead trees that are in the area. You can't just send foragers out to go and get them, you've got to have the correct building to get them, and it has to be within the area of the circle. Makes sense? Pretty straightforward. These little icons keep popping up more and more and more. This is telling me that I need to open a new medical post or promise to keep them. Again, decisions to be made. You can sort of hope that they will get better or have evasive surgery, such as cutting limbs off and stuff. So it is, you know, pretty serious things to consider in this game. I will open a new outpost. We zoom out, okay, we've been exploring, we've got scouts, okay, and we're sending our scouts out further and further to find things, okay. Now we're on our way to Winterhome, which is apparently another city. Not sure if we're going to have annoyed them though, because way back here, where were we? Weather station, bridge. One of these shelters basically said that it had got resources in it, and if you took the resources, you were meant to report it to the quartermaster at Winterhome. Well, we just took the resources and left it, so maybe we'll have annoyed those by the time we get there. Bridge was interesting. Where's the bridge? Bridge. There's the bridge. Had an automatron looking after the bridge, keeping the snow off it, which is like a giant robot thing. Now you could dismantle that for spares and bits and bobs and resources, or you can send it on its way back. There it is, automatron. Big walkie thing. Look, so I've sent it back to the city. Maybe it can do some work, help us out. Don't know. So we're slowly exploring. We're a few hours in now. Like I was saying, I was trying to cover a period of time without making this video hours and hours and hours long, because this is a slow progress game. Even playing it, you know, keep speeding it up as it were. I'm still slow going, and as you can see, the city is expanding, but you would expect possibly more. I don't know. Like I say, I'm not too good at these games, so I'm taking my time with it a bit. But generally people are okay. We've got no homeless people now. We've got 19 sick, but you seem to always have sick people because of frostbite and stuff. It is a pretty interesting game. Book of Law seems to be a pretty big deal. Once you sort of sign that, you have to wait, I think it's 19 hours before you can change your decision. I decided that amputation was a good way of curing things if people have got gangrene, rather than trying to do any other ways. But yeah, crucial decisions all the way through the game. Guys, I hope this has given you an insight into this game, a look into this game, maybe a bit more of an extended play than some of the reviewers have done. I don't like to give my opinion on a game before playing it at least sort of 3 or 4 hours, okay, and that's exactly what I've done here. You may progress further in 3 or 4 hours than me, but if you're good at SimCity and stuff like that, I'm sure you will. This is a very interesting game. It's very unique. I love the little effects that are in the graphics. It's not crashed once. It seems to be really solid port. Really impressed with it. Is it worth $24.99? Yeah, it is. You know, it makes a change from a lot of the shooters out there, or the racing games and stuff. It's quite in depth, and you've really got to think about your decisions. If I was going to rate this out of 10 for its particular genre of game that it is, because it is on a different sort of level, like it is a survival and a resource game, it's a 9 out of 10. It really is that good. I'm really impressed with it, and they're not normally my scene, this type of game. You know, I like your sort of Fallout, you know, and that type of game, Rainbow Six Siege. You know, this is not normally my sort of thing. This has caught my attention. I've not been able to come away from it, so I'm still playing it, and I will keep playing it just to see what's out there, go further out exploring and see what it's all about. So I'm going to give this a firm seal of approval. When this is out on consoles, highly recommend it, as long as they sort out the control system. If it's anything like The Sims on console, I don't know if you've played that, but it is terrible with a controller, The Sims is. As long as they get the controller sorted out for this, this will be a great game to buy on console. PC guys, well, no problem, you got it made. This game runs like a dream. The controls are perfect for it. It's really easy to use. You don't have to read any instructions. You can jump straight in there. Literally 30 minutes you'll have figured out what to do and how to play the game. Definitely go buy this game if you're even thinking about it. Well worth it. Guys, thanks a lot for your time, and goodbye till the next time.